So let me just go into, the first two cards here. We do have the Five of Cups as well as the Eight of Pentacles. Now, first of all, the Eight of Pentacles is a card about, sending out resumes into the world, trying to I usually see this as like sending little replicas of ourselves into the world just to see how we'll do, just to test the waters, and to also try to branch out and see what other opportunities are available to us. This is kind of like, playing detective, looking at other companies and looking at the position that is similar to your current position in your current company to see what type of money is being paid. And I feel that you're shifting direction, trying to find a job that pays more, trying to find a job in a related industry. And I feel like if you have some type of professional accounts, professional social media accounts, such as, LinkedIn and things like that, looking in that manner is going to allow you to network with a lot of people in the same industry that can vouch for you, that can also open a lot of doors for you. So professional contacts, professional networks is going to allow you to land a very, very good job. Okay. So I feel a lot of you are starting this month already looking. You might have been looking for the past few months. I feel like for the past 2 months, you might have lost a job within the past 2 months, and you're kind of anxiously looking for new work as well. And then some of you, there might have been a lot of people leaving your current work situation, and there might have been a lot of restructuring, a lot of structural changes, systematic changes, new technology being implemented as well. And I feel like whenever there are changes internally, people just get very nervous. They're just like, what's going on? Should I withdraw from this situation before it gets worse? So there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding your work environment. And either way, I feel like some of you are, I feel like more of you are still working, but you're uncertain about the direction that the company is heading in. And so you're hedging your bets by looking elsewhere. And then others, there might have been a lot of people leaving, a lot of people that you really like, that you really get along with. And I feel as a result of it, you're kind of like, oh, I'm not going to be the last one to stay here. I don't want to stay here anymore because all the people that I really like have left. You can make new friends. Okay. So don't let that be the main reason why you're leaving, because like I said, don't do what other people do. You need to chart your own path. Okay. And I feel that it would be really good for you to look either way. But I do sense as well, if you're not happy with your current job, don't just quit. Ask for a promotion. Ask for what you feel you deserve. So if you love your job and you're emotionally invested in your job, but you feel like the workload is too much, ask for a raise. Okay. Because I feel that taking initiative in this situation is actually better than jumping on the bandwagon and going with the crowd. All right. What's coming through next here? We do have the Three of Cups as well as the Lovers. And the Three of Cups usually indicates to me some type of a celebratory energy. So for those of you who have been going through job interviews and have been, networking with other people, trying to land a job, going through these job interviews. And I feel for the past 2 months, I do sense something coming through successfully for you this month. And in fact, I feel some of you might be getting multiple offers on the career front. Okay. So once again, it's linked up here with the Lovers, which indicates some type of major decisions that cannot be made lightly. So I feel like you might be deciding, should I ask for a raise in my current job? Should I move to the next job? And you might have multiple options on the table. So you might also be like, should I, take this job or the other one? So I feel like a lot of options are coming through for you on the professional front. And then you're trying to decide, do I stay here or do I move forward? And if I move forward, which option is the best for me to move forward with? So I do feel multiple options coming in, and it looks very, very good for you guys on the professional front. On the emotional front, I feel like for many of you, you might be coming into this month newly single. So newly single, this is you overcoming past hurts, past regrets, past disappointment, and overall a very disappointing type of a relationship. Something you thought, somebody you thought would be the one, something you thought would be stable and, like go the distance, is actually kind of disappointing. So I feel like this is a card about breaking up from a relationship. So with this card early on in the spread, it indicates to me a lot of you are newly single coming into the month of December. Your dating life is really taking off, mainly because I feel like you have many, many suitors. And I feel that, the Three of Cups is a card about socially dating. So going out, mingling, having fun, going on multiple dates, possibly like with multiple people. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you are, newly single and you're ready to just get out there just to see what it's like on the dating scene, just to, have fun, enjoy your life, that's perfectly fine. What I do sense, though, it's linked up here with the Lovers. So I definitely feel like a lot of you, you're still emotionally tied up with somebody from the past. You're trying to move past it, but the options that are coming through are not exactly like, 100% exactly what you want. And so I feel that you're still stuck in the past. You're trying to move on with your life. You have multiple options. They're telling you to take it easy. Miracles don't happen overnight. We have to go through the process of dating in order to find the right person, because it's all a numbers game. But at the same time, I feel like you're trying to, fill a void because of this recent past relationship that ended. I feel like everything is happening so soon and you're not emotionally ready yet to be in a relationship. I hope that makes sense. So I feel like on the one hand, you're having really good success on the dating front, but I feel that you are so anxious and so fast about, getting out of one relationship, starting to date, and you're trying so hard to find another person to fill that void in your life, that you are like looking at the wrong person and imbuing too much significance into the relationship, or somebody comes in that is below expectations, and in the process of wanting to be in another relationship, you are kind of like putting them on a pedestal where they don't belong. So that's coming through as well. So I would say, take it easy. After a significant relationship has ended, it is really important for us to take the time off to heal ourselves, okay? Especially if we were in a relationship that we put a lot of hopes in and it didn't really pan out the way that we want. I feel a lot of you are repeating the same pattern as you're going through the dating environment right now, where you're just like, I want to meet the right one. And then I feel that you are kind of like trying to fit somebody that is not appropriate for you and trying to fit them into this relationship, this idealized vision of a relationship that you have for yourself, and they don't belong there. So like putting somebody on a pedestal where they don't belong, imbuing too much significance into a relationship that doesn't warrant it or doesn't merit it. So that's really important to, be realistic to yourself about, okay? And I feel for many of you as well who are recently, you're recently single, you have been dating, there are some type of like, I feel like juggling act. You're dating multiple people, you're having fun, and I feel like you're dating multiple people, you're having a really good time, you're having a lot of fun. And I do sense that one person does stand out above all others. But for some reason, I feel like there's incompatibility between you and that one significant person. Incompatibilities oftentimes create a lot of physical attraction. It generates a lot of excitement. It creates a lot of physical attraction, a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry, but it's not always stable. So be very careful about, knowing infatuation, lust, and love. Like knowing the difference and differentiating between those three things will save you a lot of, unnecessary heartache and unnecessary disappointment down the line. So I feel like, if you're out there dating, just be very careful, take it very, very slowly. Don't put somebody on a pedestal. knowing the difference between lust, passion, and true love. Okay. So that's something to keep yourself in check about, because I feel like you're anxiously rushing into things and hoping that it will work out, which is more of the Sagittarian, something that I usually see Sagittarius doing well. But they're ruled by Jupiter, which is like, the planet of luck, and they have a penchant for things just going the way that they want. A lot of it has to do with the fact that they have a very strong sense of intuition. They have a very strong sense of timing, and they're generally very, very optimistic and lucky. So things tend to work out the way that they want. For the rest of us, however, I feel like we have to approach things in a more rational, methodical, and also practical manner. We have to gauge things step by step, and we have to let things play out over a longer period of time before we make accurate assessment. Okay, so you can't really wing it. You need to like put in the emotional investment. You need to put in the time, and you can't really rush the process of trying to find the right one. Because what happens is, especially for those of you who are dating, if you're looking to find the one and you're dating, you're basically on the right track, because you're sending out intention to the universe that that you want to be in a relationship, that you have a specific person that you're looking for. So that's intention setting. It's good. And once you set your intentions, it's going to take the universe a little bit of time to shuffle things into place, And if you really think about all the pieces of the puzzle that needs to be there first for two people to meet, it's a lot of work, like having to work out, logistically where one person is and all the events that happens in order for two people to encounter one another. So I feel like, you need to be very, very patient. I feel some of you got out of a very, very significant relationship. You're dating right now. The options are not really panning out the way that you want. You're getting frustrated. And you're just like, why isn't the right person coming through for me? Or why can't I find the perfect partner? I've been dating for the past, 5 months almost. So I feel like it's going to take some time. Okay. So just relax a little bit. It's going to happen for you. And when it happens, like when you release the outcome and when you could stop controlling for the outcome as well, it's going to happen in a very like preordained, orchestrated, or even like serendipitous way when you least expect it. So I feel like you're pushing for things. And so they're telling you, be patient, take a step back, take a break from dating if you're like burned out, because I feel like there are a lot of social engagements and I feel like you're still having fun, but you're just tired of running into the same types who want the same things, and you want something a little bit more. So that's what I feel is happening. Which brings us to the final two cards here. We have the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands is trying very, very hard to like move on, like pick up the pieces of our lives and trying to move on. A lot of you are physically moving into a new home. A lot of you are physically moving into a new office. A lot of you are just picking up the pieces of your romantic life, whatever is left, and you're trying to move on from past disappointment, past hurts, and things like that. So the whole process about, closing the door and moving on, I feel like it's really happening for many of you. And I feel that it's going to be really good for you. I'm going to say that in the process of, being able to slam the door shut on the past and to pick yourself back up and just, move on with your life, I do feel that you have new blessings that are coming through here, and it's going to be very fruitful for you to explore these blessings. So I do sense that, they're saying your patience is going to pay off. If you have been kind of like disappointed with the love options that are coming through, you have something coming through like very, very soon, this month. And I feel like for the next year, which is the March timeframe, is going to be very fruitful for you. So new love options that are going to meet your criteria. Okay. And then on the other hand, if you have been kind of like looking for work, I do sense new work coming through. And I do sense, new housing opportunities and things like that. So if you're slamming those door shuts on the past, you are going to have like new options coming in that will be really, really meant for you and it was created for you. So, you know, be patient. It's going to take some time for the universe to shuffle things so that, you know, all the pieces fall into place and then things will start to work out. Okay. So honestly, by far, this is probably the best spread that I've had. Like the cards are very, very positive. The energy is really, it's very directed. So I feel like this is probably the best, most promising spread that I've done for all the other signs, for all the signs for this month so far. In terms of your spiritual advice here, first of all, we have the Prince of Wands, and this is your energy of a fire sign. So this is Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. So I feel like your energy is very, very high this month. You have a lot on your plate. You have a lot of responsibilities to take care of. And this card also indicates to me major, major moves. Okay. So travel, movement, and things like that is linked up with the world. And the world usually indicates like travel, communication from overseas, expanding our geographical location, expanding our philosophical location, philosophy as well, and coming across, like encountering people who are very, very diverse, who are very different from us. So I feel like a lot of you are thinking about like needing to take a break, like a sabbatical. I do feel a little bit of a burnout energy at work. You're taking a break. You're going somewhere. I see like a lot of people traveling to a more tropical environment, like tropical islands, going to a warmer climate. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it is winter time right now, so I do see you traveling south. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, I feel like you're going more to a tropical environment. So I don't see like people shifting to a colder environment, just some place a little bit more tropical. Japan does come to mind. I do feel Japan. I do feel like, you know, the Polynesian islands. I'm also sensing very heavy energy here when it comes to, for those of you who are taking a sabbatical, I do sense like a 6-month sabbatical would be sufficient. Longer than 6 months, your skills are going to get rusty, but I feel like there might be new jobs coming through that will demand you, like that will require you to come back like within a 6-month time frame. Okay, so you know, at the very latest, like the summertime in the States, so that's June, July, August, so the summertime, it is probably a good idea for you to come back, end that sabbatical by the summertime, and then try to come back. I'm also feeling with the Four of Pentacles here. The Four of Pentacles is a card about, you know, clinging on to something. This is ways of doing, philosophies, ideologies that might be a little bit outdated. Clinging on to things out of fear of change and fear of being displaced physically, emotionally. I feel like a lot of you are still harboring love for a specific person. You're, you know, at the drop, well, if the other person were to reach out to you, I feel that you would rush back in. And I feel that, you know, this is going to work against you, mainly because the universe is trying to give you new opportunities to expand. And I feel like you're not ready for it because you're fearing the change. You're fearing the uncertainty. You're fearing the unknown. So you are very fixated on this specific outcome, on this specific person, when new opportunities are trying to come through for you. So be very, very open-minded. Be very, very, I would say like flexible when it comes to timing, when it comes to what you want versus what you need. Knowing the difference between those two things would be good for you as well. So don't go back to things from the past, because I feel like you've dealt with a lot of disappointment from it. And it's good for you to try to expand because new opportunities are trying to come through. A lot of you are kind of like, I feel like you need to ask for a raise if you are kind of burned out at work and you feel like you need to be compensated a lot more, especially if you love your work and you can't imagine yourself doing anything else. I feel that it's important for you to ask for a raise. Don't be coy. Don't feel like, you know, you're asking for too much, because I feel like they mentioned before, there's a lot of money circulating around your environment. So the money is there. If you need that raise, you need to ask for it. Okay. And I feel that it's going to play out very well in your favor. And the last thing that I'm feeling here, We have, once again, the Four of Pentacles. This is going backwards, and this is like the future where there's a lot of blessings. There's a lot of love and things like that. They're saying that, abundance is in store for you. New opportunities are in store for you. Your financial situation, I feel that it looks very, very good. And this is, so this message is not going to apply to all. I feel like it's a small group of you. I feel like somebody with a lot of, like a big family, okay? Like either you have a lot of children and you have been like struggling financially, with all those children growing up like weeds, buying Christmas gifts and, I feel like you are plagued with a lot of financial responsibilities, not for yourself, but because you have a big family. And I feel that you're really, really scared about taking any type of risky venture when it comes to your money or when it comes to your job. And I feel that this is the month in which you should try to take a risk, because I feel things are coming through in abundance for you, okay? Like calculated risk. So shifting from one job to the next is going to be pretty good. I feel that for many of you, you have multiple job options coming through. So it looks good overall, okay, Leos? I feel like this is one of the most promising spreads that I've seen so far. Well, I think it was Aries. Actually, Aries or Taurus, one of those. I think it was Aries. It also looks very good. And I feel like Sagittarius is not bad as well. So it might be just the fire signs that are getting like very, very positive messages, good sense of direction in terms of like doing things well. But also we are transitioning into the constellation of Sagittarius. We are in the constellation of Sagittarius right now. And I feel the energy is working really well, jiving well for a lot of the fire signs overall. So I do see a lot of blessings coming through. It just takes a little bit more time. Be patient. Wait till the end of this month to make any major decisions regarding movement and things like that. I feel like some of you, I feel almost like you have a property, you have some type of assets. Like you might share property, you might share assets with somebody, and I feel that, you don't want to live there anymore, but for whatever reason, your significant other or your partner needs to stay there, but you're like burned out by that place and you want to travel, you want to go somewhere new. And so there's a little bit of disagreement about, where do we live? Do we stay here or do we go? So that's coming through for those who are coupled up and have, a significant other and children especially. And then for others of you, I feel like you're hanging on to things for sentimental reason. And this is all kinds of things: relationships, friendships, work situations, all kinds of things for the wrong reason. So I feel like it's not serving its practical purpose in your life anymore. It's not conducive for growth anymore. It is keeping you stagnated and you're holding on to it. You're like willingly, knowingly holding on to things, mainly because of sentimental ties that you have to it. It is time to let go. Once you let one thing go, it creates a void, right? And the universe will step in to fill that void with other things that would be really good for you. Okay?